Now here, you scallywag. Hello, all these people out there. So I hear you be wanting a captain as an Umbral build. So prepare to be unleashing the cannons and drawing the sabers as we look today at Umbral Hydroid in all of its glory. Now that my voice hurts from that, welcome back. Today we are looking at Umbral Hydroid and his trusty cannon, as well as the Nami Skylar. Now, doing Hydroid's Umbral build, it was very hit and miss for me at the beginning. Hydroid seemed to do so many things. However, the one thing that really hurt Hydroid was his survivability. So, we're going to look into his abilities and see just how well we can build him. He has a very, well, in my opinion, a very rubbish passive. That slam attacks have a chance to summon a Tentacle. Yeah, it's not that good, is it? So, for his first power, we have Tempest Barrage. Target an area and call down a barrage of liquid fury. Charge this attack to increase the lethality of the onslaught. So as it says here, you can charge it, and it does do extra damage the more you charge it. With the current build we have a 4-second duration on Tempest Barrage, and we do have the corroding barrage augment for armor targets. So essentially for 4 seconds we're stripping armor. But we do have an explosion radius when the barrage hits the floor of a 9.5 meter radius, which is quite sizable given the size of the barrage. Tidal Surge. Crash through enemies in a ferocious wall of water. Now we can reach 11 meters with this. Now what they don't tell you about Tidal Surge is at the end of Tidal Surge, the enemy is inflicted with a slash proc, which does make it quite handy. The speed of this power is affected by duration, which is why it's in red. So as you can see, for 11.4 meters, we're only getting a speed of 24 meters per second. So, third power, and one we're probably going to be utilizing quite a lot with Hydroid, is Undertow. Become a water trap and drown unsuspecting enemies. If you got armored targets in your Undertow and you hit them with a corroding barrage, it does increase the damage you do, the escalating damage that Undertow does. So that's a good synergy there. We have a 5.51 meter radius.
There's a time limitation alert available.
Lotus, do you mind? Go on, get out of here. Thank you. 25 damage per tick, and the damage increases by 2 seconds. That is going to be a bigger increase when we hit them with corroding barrage and strip their armor. While in Undertow, you can grab a target. I believe it is through your one ability? No. I think if you use Undertow, actually, you can actually grab a target and bring them under. The grab does cost 2 energy, and it will take a 1 energy per second to maintain your Undertow. While in Undertow, you can use Tidal Surge to move around. However, with the current duration we have, you're not really going to get very far. So what the game plan for Hydroid, essentially blow a few enemies away, let them gather up, go into a puddle, hit them with corroding barrage, and use our fourth ability, which is Tentacle Swarm. Tap to spawn watery tentacles from all nearby surfaces to wreak havoc. You can charge this ability to increase the number of tentacles and summon the Kraken as a visual effect. Increase the number of tentacles and spawn area. So the longer you charge Tentacle Swarm, the wider the area it will cover. However, if you're in Undertow, the Kraken will only appear in your puddle radius. which it does say there. Well, when using Undertow, have the tentacles emerge from the pool. So you can either choose to charge Tentacle Swarm and hit a large area, or if you're in a narrow corridor, you can use Tentacle Swarm to essentially shut down that area. You can see we have a 9.5 meter radius. We have 10 tentacles we can summon, each doing a damage of 200, and the duration of that is 16 seconds, which during my testing is usually more than efficient to do what I needed to do. Right, for the mods we have... Wait, what? Whoa, whoa, whoa. What's going on here? Someone's been messing about on my builds, people. I think it was this. Okay, that's weird. I don't know why that was out. I really don't. Anywho. Right, for the aura, we are using rejuvenation. Why are we using rejuvenation and not corrosive, projection, or energy siphon? Energy siphon, from my personal testing, isn't worth the capacity. A 0.6 energy regen with an energy pool of 225, it's not even worth it. Not in my opinion anyway. Corrosive projection we don't really need because we are running corroding barrage. And with corroding barrage, we're basically doing an even better job of stripping the enemy armor. Of course we're running Umbral Intensify and Umbral Vitality because it's an Umbral build. What else are we going to use? Hunter's Adrenaline with Hydroid's armor pool. No, we're not going to die a lot, but we will die if we take too much sustained fire. So what this does, it converts 45% of the damage that we would have taken to our energy, from our health to our energy, and not only that, we also get a bonus for our companion. However, we're not really modding for that, we're just getting the extra energy back, which allows us to get spam happy with our abilities. Right, Prime Continuity. Now, if you're a beginner to the game, you can use normal continuity. Just know you're going to have a, I believe it's a 10-second less duration. 10% less duration, I mean. Why am I saying 10 seconds? Yeah, 10% less duration. That's the only difference between my build and what yours will be. So you'd have 70% duration. For the Exilus, we are running Power Drift for 15% power strength and a chance to resist knockdown. Now, against high level targets, especially the Scorpions, the Butchers, Heavy Gunners, all that, anything that can knock you down in a high level mission essentially spells insta-death for any warframe that can't get up quickly. So essentially the chance to resist that knockdown to begin with is quite handy to have. We have fleeting expertise. Yes, it is cutting into our duration, but if you really want to, you can only half level fleeting expertise and run streamline, and you'll still get the same effect while still maintaining some duration. Right, with this and coupled with streamline, we have the max efficiency you can reach in Warframe, which means our abilities, if we go back to our abilities, are now dirt cheap to use. As you can see here, Undertow now has an energy cost of 0.5 a second. Yeah, we can stay underwater for quite a long time. Overextended, we have ability range that cuts into our power strength, but again with Umbral Intensify and Power Drift we maintain that 100% power strength. And with this build you can pretty much swap out any one of Hydroid's augments. So you can use, I don't know, the puddle augment that regenerates health, and allows your allies to come in, and restore their health. You can use Pilfering Swarm and get all that loot. Basically, with this setup, any augment you want to slot into Hydroid will perform quite respectively. Right, for Hydroid's chosen weapons, I wanted to embrace the pirate theme and just go for the Tsar. Because you know, what's a pirate without his cannon?
Excellent armaments, operator. Please return.
Okay, orders. Oh, shoot.
Safe
Shoot. Shoot. Attaboy. Right, the Tsar does take 2 former. I believe it was a V and a dash. I don't know, it's been quite a while. As you can see, we have all the basic damage mods. We have Serration, we have Split Chamber and Vigilante ornaments, as well as Point Strike to help us with that critical chance, because we do have a 5.5 times critical multiplier with Vital Sense. And we do have Corrosive just for even more armor stripping with High Voltage and Malignant Force, plus that very sizable boost in status. Now for the last mod, you can use whatever you want. If you want to increase the potency of the Corrosive, you will require another former for a dash. However, I personally opted to go for fast hands. The Tsar is a weapon where you reload 1 cannonball at a time, and in a normal gameplay scenario, if you're going from low to mid tier levels, that reload's usually fine. But if you're going into higher level gameplay, that reload can get you killed. So I personally prefer fast hands, just so I can reload and kick out my cannons faster. If you want to run carrier, you won't have to worry about ammo problems. However, I prefer my tried and tested Snagglepuss. Right, for the Nami Skylar, I have a stance that I prefer. And personally, with the way that melee weapons work, and you get the extra capacity from the stances, you very rarely need former on these weapons. You just need an Orokin Catalyst and you're away. Right, for the build we have Pressure Point for damage, Organ Shatter for critical damage. You can see we're not running any critical chance mod. That is because we have Blood Rush. Basically, the higher our combo counter is, our critical chance goes up with that combo multiplier. So the higher it is, the higher our critical chance. And I believe from the numbers I've grinded on Warframe Builder, at a 5 times combo multiplier you get well over 100%. But let's face it, in normal gameplay scenario you're not going to be getting a 5 times critical multiplier unless you run Relentless Combination, I think it's called? Yeah, Relentless Combination. My god, I remembered something. Which essentially, when you get a slash proc, which Nami Skylar does prioritize its slash procs, your critical counter, your melee counter goes up. Like, quite fast. So even if you wanted to, you could swap out Relentless Combination for Life Strike, if you didn't care about the survivability of Hydroid, and have your combo counter climb up. Now with any good slash weapon we are going to want to build Viral. Basically Viral cuts the enemy's HP in half for the duration of the proc, which coupled with slash means essentially for a short time your slashes are doing double damage. And again, because we have such a high status, we are going to put on Condition Overload for the extra melee damage on a Nami Skylar, You have drifting contact for a 10-second combo duration, plus extra status, and of course, for a bit of survivability in Hydroid's kit, we are going to use left strike. So, that is pretty much it. So, as per usual, we are heading into Sanctuary Onslaught to see how Hydroid can perform with no teammates, just him, and see how far he can get. If you're new to going Umbral, essentially what I do, I try to see if a Warframe can get to round 4 or over. The only Warframe, from my personal experience, oh, I accidentally shut this off. The only Warframe, from my experience, that hasn't been able to get there is Ash. But that is because I suck at playing Ash. I really, really do. Like, honestly, Ash is one of my least used Warframes there was. So, against these infested enemies, you see fast hands doing work, increasing the reload speed. I can just load entire groups of them away. Right. They have no armor, but we're going to use Tempest barrage. You know what? Let's use the Nami Skylar for a little bit. I ain't gonna lie to you, I don't know any of the combos on the Namis, on the Swirling Tiger. Right. Get black, man. Whew. Right, when you're using the Tsar, do remember to switch fire modes. I can't tell you how many times I've actually blown myself up, like I almost did there, by not switching the fire mode. You really want barrage for close combat, and a cannon for ranged combat. Yeah, I've done that a couple of times. Right, let's get the tentacles. There we go. Go, my Kraken. Who's still surviving out here? No, out the way. Right. Essentially, where Hydroid comes into play is essentially in narrow corridors. Because essentially he can do this. Just spawn loads of tentacles or use Tempest barrage in a narrow hallway. And he's going to hit enemies. So zone 1's complete, 81 efficiency. I believe that's our highest yet. So, we're doing quite well. Where is everybody? Whew, almost blew myself up again. Right, where is everybody? There you are. Tempest barrage. You know what? Let's unleash the Kraken. Ooh. So as you see, I almost died there. But thanks to rejuvenation, I can regen a little bit of health. Wait till the enemies are clear. It's a Swirling Tiger. And use left strike. Whew. That was close, man. Right. Tempest barrage. Tentacle swarm. mind. I'm trying to do something here. Come here, Tech. The only downside to Hydroid, personally speaking, is he is really slow. I know that's not really much of a complaint, but usually I lack a bit of speed behind my warframes, you know? That Saren with her rework, she can get fast. Right. The majority of the time I find myself actually running melee with Hydroid. So she's using Nami Skylar melee and stuff. That way if I do take health damage, like you see now, I can just regenerate it with Lash Track. And because my abilities are pretty much dirt cheap to use, I can use all my powers in conjunction and really control zone. No, Snagglepuss, don't be down on me, buddy. Right, so zone 3 already at 61 efficiency. That's actually not bad. I'm trying to remember who it was. Essentially, I got to round zone 3. I'm trying to remember what warframe it was that basically had like 10 efficiency. I was able to bring it back. I want to say it was Ivara, in all speaking. Yeah, I think it was Ivara. Yeah, you think you can escape me, lad? Tentacle Swarm! Tempest barrage! Come here, boy. You guys can get bombarded. Aha. Feel the wrath of the Kraken. Whew. My God. Sit down. Give me my health back. As you can see, Lash Strike in conjunction with healing Hunter's Adrenaline is making it so essentially I can get very spam happy with my powers and still use them to a pretty decent effectiveness. Now, I've seen builds on YouTube where people build for just one power and disregard the others. And honestly, I never really understood it. Like, you're gonna play for one power just to get spammy and disregard everything else they can do. I really need my health back. Sit down.
Enter the conduit now.
Wow, zone 4 already. Nice. Who are we fighting this? Brilliant. Okay, cool. Right. Unleash the Kraken. You give my health back. Nice. Oops. Wrong fire mode. Go. I'll be taking that health back. Ooh. Maybe not.
Efficiency is crucial to this experiment's design. Work faster!
I was actually hoping to go over. Okay. So the Tsar. Blow you away. And you guys. Okay, B+.
Some usable data. But I need more.
Actually, not bad.
You are ready to subject these data immortals to a...
So as you can see, Hydroid can more than hold himself solo. And again, against armored targets of a higher level, though they will pose a threat, they won't pose as much as a threat, because you can strip their armor with both the Tsar and your corroding barrage. And again, if you want to swap out the augment for anything else, say in your rejuvenation pool or your pilfering swarm, with this setup you can more than do that and make the most of any of his augments. And that is about it. I'll see you guys next time. Do remember what I've forgotten to speak about here. If you're on YouTube, it will be in the description below. All the statistics, all that stuff in description. Anyway, ta-ta now. Come on, say goodbye, Hydroid. Attaboy. Right, see you there, guys.